So, you probably thought this was a shipping video. Not really, I'm a bit more complicated than that. We're actually going to be discussing more about themes and plot structure. So, Naruto hot take. Hear me out. Naruto's relationship with Sakura is what actually drives the story, not his relationship with Sasuke.
What?
Motherfucker, boo me all you want, I got receipts. Let me cook. The chef is in the kitchen. So, your first instinct was probably to cite Sasuke as Naruto's most important relationship, but I'm here to point out that in terms of Naruto's basic functionality as a dramatic battle shonen, it's actually a close second to what he has going on with Sakura. Here's why. Naruto's conflict with Sasuke is emotionally blunt. It's very intense, but it's pretty one note. From the moment Sasuke left, we knew that they were going to fight each other at least one last time to see which path to power was the right one. That was obvious from the get-go. Like, think about it. They see each other, what, maybe 3 times in Shippuden, give or take? Sasuke's dramatic impact lands at key moments, but it doesn't keep the dramatic fire burning during the long stretches of time where he doesn't interact with Naruto. That job actually belongs to Sakura. It's Naruto's relationship with Sakura that provides the vast majority of the story's emotional fuel. In other words, after part 1, Sasuke is mostly out of sight. Ask yourself, what other character does Naruto actually have intense interpersonal drama with aside from Sasuke? It's not Hinata because he ignores her most of the time, and it's not Jiraiya since he's not around. Really, the only other person is Sakura. Remember, Naruto's relationship with her was in this gray area for the vast majority of Shippuden, and that will they won't they energy was kind of what kept it interesting. On top of that, there's the implied narrative that her feelings for Sasuke are gradually being eclipsed by what she has for Naruto, at least until this plot thread gets quietly dropped. This is what keeps Naruto's character drama going for the most part. Naruto and Sakura had somewhere very interesting to go if Kishimoto actually committed to finishing its arc. Think back to part 1. Naruto initially vowed to bring Sasuke home because of his love for Sakura and his desire to see her happy, even if it was without him in the picture. At that point in the story, remember that Naruto and Sasuke were not on good terms with each other. That promise wasn't rooted in brotherhood, it was rooted in romantic love. Which is especially impressive because Naruto was able to do this as a 12-year-old boy, which in turn lends itself to the idea that maybe Naruto's feelings for her are a lot more serious than you would think. And while Naruto's motivations to return Sasuke home evolve to be more self-actualized, that only happens at some point after he learns the truth about Itachi. For a significant portion of the story, his love for Sakura was his primary motivating force. This is the conflict that kept the story interesting. Naruto's feelings for Sakura versus his promise to bring Sasuke home, and where he would go emotionally when he reaches that endpoint. It was a core element of his character arc. And as I said, and feel the need to reiterate, it provides an emotional undercurrent for the majority of the story because of just how long it bubbles underneath Naruto and Sakura's dynamic. And it was just kind of abandoned 2/3 of the way through the story. So let's talk about the inflection point where this pivot off of Naruto and Sakura actually happens. When you look at where the story loses its sauce and its complexity, one key moment jumps out. It's the fake confession scene. After this moment, Naruto's character drama just kind of stops happening for the most part, and to be honest, that's because Naruto and Sakura stopped talking to each other. While there were plenty of emotional storytelling beats after Naruto and Sakura stopped engaging, it was never a consistent through line. For example, Kakashi had his struggle with Obito, but they didn't interact regularly, and they had to resolve it with their fists. It was like an explosion, and then we move on to the next thing, and it's just kind of done, it's gone. Sasuke had his pain over losing Itachi and his family, but Itachi is mostly out of the story after that point, and he only comes back for a few key moments. Sasuke isn't in the story all that much really, so that arc is only a here and there kind of thing. Basically, the war arc went the way it did because at that point, the only way to have compelling emotional beats was in the middle of fights. Naruto and Sakura's relationship allowed the story to remain emotionally compelling between major events. And let me tell you something, Naruto found its way to global relevance because it was a battle shonen with legitimately heart-wrenching character drama. It wasn't just about who could punch harder. So with that said, character drama. Let's circle back to one of my points, and I'm going to play you a clip from one of my previous videos about the fake confession scene. Here's where the nuance of the confession scene comes in. when you dig into her reaction when Naruto rejects her, this is the facial expression she makes. She's literally about to cry for a second, and then after that, she gets mad. Listen to her dialogue here.
So
That reaction doesn't line up with somebody who's just completely lying and BSing you in the moment. If everything she was saying was a lie, she'd have a more calculated approach to how she handles this situation because her emotional appeal failed, right? So the next step is to go to a logical appeal and try to just simply convince Naruto to do what she wants. But as she switched from talking about Sasuke to talking about Naruto, she clearly got emotionally invested in what she was saying, and Naruto dismissing it caused her to lose her composure. Implication being that maybe there's some truth in there somewhere. So it's pretty weird that this scene, as dramatic as it was, had no follow-up or acknowledgement whatsoever in the story. Wouldn't it make more sense for a scene to follow it, where they talk about it? I don't know, perhaps something like this?
hey, Naruto. How's the antidote working?
I'm doing better. I'm still a bit drowsy, but the pain's gone.
That's good. I wanted to talk to you about everything.
Yeah. I guess it's time we talked.
Thank you for saving me, even from myself sometimes. I've just been so worried about losing you, Naruto. I'm really sorry for being dishonest with you. It was horrible of me to try and manipulate you.
It's alright, Sakura. I know how much you love Sasuke, so I can't just let you settle for—
Naruto, just listen for a minute, okay? You're jumping to conclusions.
Sakura?
I did lie to you, but it's more complicated than that. I only lied about one thing that day.
But you love Sasuke!
I still have feelings for Sasuke, yes, but I wasn't lying about how important you are to me. Naruto, I just want you to come home to Konoha, or you'll be safe and just stay with me.
Wow, Sakura, I wish I could take you up on that. Really, I do. But I have to say Sasuke, not just because of the promise I made you. Sasuke's a victim, just like me. If I give up on him, it's like giving up on myself. That's why I said I'll either save him or die with him.
I know. I just had to tell you how I felt.
I'm so sorry for making you worry, Sakura.
A scene with this tone and purpose was essential to maintaining the coherence of the story's plot, but it goes completely unaddressed, kind of like Hinata's confession. Maybe Kishimoto just gets scared whenever he accidentally writes good character drama and tries to backpedal from that. There was too much interesting framing and nuance in the confession scene for us to just take it at face value, which is why I wrote this scene with those nuances in mind. Seriously, after the confession, Sakura gets into a situation where Naruto literally has to save her from Sasuke. In terms of plot sequencing, this is what a writer would do if they were posturing the narrative to challenge the validity of Sakura's feelings for Sasuke, which never happens, likely because Kishimoto got cold feet at the negative reaction to Sakura's confession scene. Sometimes as an author, you need to know when to tell your fans, shut up and sit down, I'm driving. Kinda like Harada, who's the maker of Tekken.
I'm very upset. I'm very upset. Shut up! Shut up! Don't ask me for
Imagine if Kishimoto was as ballsy as Harada, man. But I digress, let's get back on track. After the confession, he clearly lost his nerve to follow through on whatever plot Naruto and Sakura had going. You'd have to ask why Hinata wasn't brought forward earlier, and the lack of follow-up to the confession scene is clearly a sign of overcorrection and panic in the writing room. So with that in mind, let's have a bit of fun with this and dig into the dynamic that Kishimoto didn't have the writing chops to commit to. So with that in mind, we're going to roll back to before the confession scene during the pain arc and work within that space.
Looks like you're gonna have to feed me, Sakura. I can't hold my chopsticks right now.
So you can't even feed yourself. Well, I guess there's no choice. Give me your chopsticks. Hold still, you're gonna make a mess, Naruto.
Hey, Sakura. How's Hinata doing? She's one of your patients, right? She was acting strange when I went to visit her.
Sakura, I need to talk to you about something.
Sure, Hinata. Are you in any pain? I can increase some of your dosages if you need it.
No, it's actually about Naruto.
Oh, really?
Before I was injured, I told him I loved him. I thought I would die right there. But when he came to visit me, he seemed like he didn't remember. Maybe he was just being nice and I'm being presumptive, but can you ask him if he remembers what I said?
Naruto, what do you remember about your fight with Yakatsuki's leader?
Not much, really. I remember being impaled. I lost a lot of blood. I think Hinata was there, but I couldn't hear her very well. I was just trying to stay conscious. Why, did she say something to you?
Oh. She's just worried about you. She was probably confused at how fast you healed from all your injuries. Couple that with the memory loss from the Nine Tails taking over. Just make sure you stop by from time to time to let me examine you. Now then.
Oh, shit!
That's right, character drama. From a writing standpoint, this gives Sakura more texture as a character and makes her feel human, but also it puts something into play that can actually pay off later. Now, Hinata has to step up and take initiative as a character. She'll have to figure out why Naruto hasn't said a word about her confession. Meanwhile, Sakura isn't going to volunteer that information because she loves Naruto too, and she's wrestling with feelings of her own. So we of course move forward from this into the 5 Kage Summit arc, and of course Sakura confesses to Naruto, and with this in mind, Hinata's a bit disturbed given what she talked to Sakura about earlier. Now Sakura's not a complete monster, she technically did what Hinata asked, however Sakura did intentionally omit the part about Hinata being in love with Naruto.
Naruto was pretty badly injured when you came to assist him, so he says the memories are a bit foggy.
Oh, of course. He was severely injured when I entered the battle. It was foolish of me to say such things in the moment.
Sakura knows Hinata likes Naruto and still did this. This in turn adds a juicy subtext to the confession scene. Sakura must really be feeling something for him to be this selfish and messy out of desperation. So with that in mind, Hinata now must go around Sakura and talk to Naruto directly because she now realizes that Sakura must have similar feelings for Naruto. This of course leads to our scene post-confession where Naruto and Sakura clear the air, but we won't relitigate that. Naruto and Sakura have reached an understanding, but their obligations tug at them and keep them from fully being together at that moment. This leaves room for Naruto and Hinata to figure themselves out. The problem with their dynamic lies in the lack of mutuality. What I mean by that is that Naruto is shown to be oblivious to Hinata's feelings for almost the entire series while she pines for him from afar, but is unable to engage with him until the very end of the story by holding his hand, and after that Naruto calls Sakura his girlfriend to his father's ghost, so it just muddied the waters on that. Even in canon, Naruto and Sakura by comparison had a lot of unspoken tension, and they both had some heavy, emotionally devastating moments where they honestly give their relationship some thought. Naruto and Hinata need to clear the air much in the way that Naruto and Sakura did in that earlier scene that I created. However, the actual story that Kishimoto drew for us doesn't justify putting them together. Naruto never gave her any special consideration over anyone else, and she in turn couldn't find the strength to approach Naruto on her own for the vast majority of the story. So we're gonna actually dig into that dynamic here. For context, this scene would happen somewhere between the 5 Kage Summit arc and the start of the War Arc.
So, Hinata, we've been walking but not talking. I'm okay with that, though. But I do wonder what the occasion is.
Yes, well, something's been on my mind as of late.
You okay?
I'm not sure. Remember the battle? When I came to help you?
Sort of. Only small pieces, really. It's a bit of a blur. You were there, but I was hurt pretty bad. There was a lot of blood.
I see. Well, I wanted to speak to you about what I said to you during the battle. But yes, it makes sense that you didn't hear me giving your condition at the time. You see, Naruto, I thought I was going to die there, so I confessed my feelings for you. I've loved you for quite some time, you see. Ever since we were young, I saw how everyone treated you, but you just kept fighting. I was weak, and people bullied me, the same as you. But I could never find it in myself to stand back up like you did. I'd love nothing more than to be with you, but it's clear to me that your heart, it belongs to someone else right now.
You're right. Things are complicated. Thank you, Hinata. I just wished you reached out to me back then. I know it would have been dangerous for you, but I was so alone. They all hated me, and I had no idea what I did wrong. You're just one person.
I'm so sorry, Naruto. I've always loved you, and I've always rooted for you. Even if I was too quiet to hear. Now I just want you to find the happiness that you deserve. No matter who it's with. Thank you for being my light, Naruto.
It's especially heartbreaking because Naruto would have loved her deeply from day one if she'd just come to him when she saw his pain. Hinata's fairy tale ending was carried entirely by retcons and studio pressure. It's not in the actual story. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the shy girl never gets the guy unless she puts that shyness to the side for a moment. If you don't shoot your shot, you'll always miss. So in this continuity, we can compare Sakura's messy but passionate love to Hinata's enduring but understated love for a nice contrast. This short scene gives Hinata some agency, and it sends off her arc with some dignity and some tenderness. Also, we don't have to sacrifice Neji for the sake of a ship. That was a huge fumble, making a character centered on fate and his struggle with it, dying for his cousin in the same way that his father died for Hinata's father. It's just kind of an icky know your place theme that makes me gag. Complete fumble. I don't know why they did that. That aside, I actually like Hinata, and she has potential as a character, but in order for me to properly justify her relationship with Naruto, I'd need to turn this into a full-on alt continuity rewrite instead of my patented editor's pass. Well, that or I'd have to write a movie with a bunch of highly destructive retcons in it to make the story fit into canon properly. Anyway, our next order of business is to touch on the next part of the story, the War Arc.
Brother, what's that?
As we've discussed, Naruto's writing declines the moment the story stops working with the Naruto and Sakura dynamic. After the Land of Iron arc, the cast stops developing emotionally and they just punch each other for the rest of the story. You know, what follows is a war arc where everyone's feelings are either frozen or reverted to chapter 1 status. Naruto stops having meaningful conversations, Sakura becomes a background character, and the plot just marches forward like a waiting room clock. It's just killing time until Naruto and Sasuke can have their final battle. Of course, there are a few really great moments here and there, but that's not the norm for the War Arc. Naruto stops being a journey and it's no longer a character study like it was before the Land of Iron arc. And when it's over, the boys get slapped together with whoever liked them in episode 1. Yeah, Kishimoto just shrugged and paired people off irrespective of what actually happened in the story. Sasuke outright rejects Sakura with a violent illusion just a few chapters before they're shown to be married. And Naruto in turn ignores Hinata for the entire story, functionally speaking. It's really jarring. So let's do a short editor's pass on a couple things that will slightly improve the war arc. I'm not doing a whole rewrite here. Specifically, Sakura's feelings for Sasuke. Now, I made a whole video on what's wrong with that, so I won't relitigate all that information here. But what I will do is decouple her from him, since crawling back to Sasuke is the single worst decision probably ever in the story of Naruto. Not only does it damage Sakura's character arc, but it damages Sasuke's and Naruto's as well due to their interconnectedness as the three leads of the story. So let's set up a scenario so we can work with that. Here's a situation where Madara is the final bad guy of Naruto, since I don't like the Kaguya ass pull.
We ran over our heads. It'd be best to retreat.
But this may be our last chance to take him down!
I agree. Naruto and I will end this. You two stay out of our way.
Sasuke, don't talk to them like that. They're your teammates.
You're injured, Sasuke. Let Sakura heal you before you make your move.
Fine, whatever.
Don't talk about me like I'm not here. I have no intention of healing you anyway. This is clearly an alliance of convenience for you. You'll just try to kill us again the moment it's over.
Sakura, please. I can't beat Madara alone.
We don't have time for this. Let's go.
Sasuke, just apologize and let her heal you.
No, this is entirely her decision. Take it or leave it.
Are the children done arguing?
I'm only doing this because Naruto asked.
Thank you, Sakura. I know this was difficult for you, but we're out of options.
Just go. And, Naruto? Please come back to me in one piece.
Of course. After all, we still have some things to talk about after I bring this guy home with me.
Now go save the world.
Or die trying?
So if I were Kishimoto's editor, the series would have ended with Naruto and Sasuke fighting after they beat Madara, because as I said before, Kaguya was kind of a dumb decision to make pacing-wise since it dragged out the already weak war arc. In the end, things go as you expect, with Naruto winning the ideological battle with Sasuke, and of course, the three junior members of Team 7 would have to clear the air with each other, because they have their moment together after Naruto and Sasuke fight, but again, Naruto as a whole refused to address the love triangle that started this whole mess, and just kind of pretended it never existed to begin with. So next we're gonna take a moment to properly resolve this conflict.
Sakura, I want to speak with you.
What is it, Sasuke?
I'll be leaving the village for good soon. And I wanted to apologize for everything I put you through over the years. I was lost, and I tried to find my peace the only way I knew how. Through violence. But Naruto showed me that he has what it takes to change the world. To a place where people like me no longer exist. I wanted to thank you for loving me, even though I was so awful to you.
Don't thank me. Thank Naruto. He's the one that convinced me not to give up on you. He never lost faith in you, you know?
We already talked, actually. I wanted to set things right with you before I left.
Are you sure you don't want to stay? What about Team 7?
I'll always be part of Team 7. But if Naruto's gonna change the world, I need to be out there making sure it sticks. There are still a lot of dangerous people lurking in the shadows, and they need to be culled. I intend to bloody my hands so Naruto doesn't have to. Thanks for everything, Sakura.
Of course. I hope you can find what you're looking for. Out there in the world.
One more thing.
Huh?
The light in Naruto's heart. Protect it with everything you have. It's probably the only pure thing left in the world. Take care of him, please.
I will. I promise. Goodbye for now, Sasuke.
Yeah, so I wouldn't pair Sasuke with anyone. Given what we got in Boruto, I think it's for the best that he doesn't go that route. After all, how poetic is it for Sasuke to be the last Uchiha by choice?
I am the last Uchiha. And this curse of hatred, it dies with me. Then, this world shall finally know peace.
The cycle of hatred has ruined Sasuke's life, and by extension, the ninja world as a whole. Who better to ensure that it all ends with him? It even creates a great bookend for Sasuke as a character, starting as a boy consumed by hatred and ending as a man who devotes his entire life to ensuring that the ninja world doesn't create any more children like him and Naruto. That's a great through line for Sasuke as a character. There's also one more loose end we have to cover. Now that there's not a war or a bunch of interpersonal drama hanging over their heads, Naruto and Sakura have to sit down and talk about where they stand as companions. Something they quite literally never did properly in the entire series.
We actually did it. It's really over.
Feels weird, doesn't it? Like, there's nothing left to chase.
What now? I mean, for us.
Oh, you mean like us?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right then, let's talk.
I was so scared I'd lose you to this. When you two nearly killed each other, I almost lost it.
You said you loved me. Have those feelings changed at all?
I've had plenty of time to think. That day, when I begged you to stay in Konoha. Even after the fear faded, the feelings never went away.
Well, I love you too, Sakura. I always have.
I'm glad that you stood by me. Even when I hurt you. I love you, Naruto. And I want to walk beside you until the end.
Then, of course, the story would more or less be over, with only one other thing being the epilogue, really. However, I'd personally make the epilogue set on Naruto's inauguration day, and he'd of course see Sasuke in the crowd. Since I'm feeling sappy but a bit spontaneous, I'd actually have Sasuke send off the story with a monologue.
There was a time when I thought peace was impossible. That hatred was the only thing keeping me alive. But you proved me wrong, Naruto. You showed me that bonds don't break with distance. That even when the world is falling apart, you can find something worth holding on to. We still have work to do. Dangerous actors lurk in the shadows, but so do I. You have a different path to walk. In the light. I, in turn, will give everything I have to hold the darkness at bay. In that way, maybe we truly can break the cycle of hatred that's cursed this world. I watch you now. Not as the boy I once looked down on, but as the man whose light will heal the world's wounds. The man who taught me to believe again. The man who is finally, truly, never alone.
And that's Naruto, with the patented Merriweather Designs editor's pass. If Kishimoto was more resolute in where he wanted the story to go, and if he wasn't so awkward with writing women, the conversation around Naruto would be very different, and it's highly likely that Timeline's equivalent of Boruto would still be very relevant in the anime zeitgeist. As it stands, however, Naruto was a cultural phenomenon, but its time has passed. Dragon Ball it is not. But that's okay. I don't need to chase that feeling I had watching it as a kid by forcing myself to sit through Boruto. That's not gonna do it for me. I'm gonna enjoy Naruto for what it is, and that only. As far as I'm concerned, Naruto ended on a high note with Naruto beating Sasuke. Everything after that seems unnecessary. Wake me up when Naruto's back, but just Naruto. So, until then, I'll see you all next time, whenever that is.